Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to Torrent Power Limited Q4 FY23 earnings conference call. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Saurabh Mashruwala, Chief Financial Officer, Torrent Power Limited. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you so much. Good morning to all of you. Thank you for joining the earnings call of Torrent Power Limited for Q4 FY23. First, I will take you through the performance of the quarter, after which phone lines will be open for Q&A session. We'll explain the performance of the company at PBT level first, and we'll take the tax expenses separately thereafter. Reported PBT for the quarter before exceptional items stood at 668 crores as compared to 597 crores in the corresponding quarter last year, and an increase by 71 crores, about 12% on a reported basis. To understand the underlying performance of the company, we'll take you through the non-recurring items first in the quarter. While there are no non-recurring items for the current quarter, there were some non-recurring items in the last quarter, comparable quarter of last year. There are 5 non-recurring items in Q4 of FY22. First, reversal of provision for doubtful debt at franchise distribution business of 16 crores due to better collection efficiency and increased vigilance activity during this quarter. Second, reversal of partial provision of 28 crores out of total provision of 161 crores made for 499 CT3 wind projects during FY20 as a performance bank guarantee issued as a security for the development of transmission line has been released by the PGCIL. Third, reversal of partial provision of 29 crores out of total provision of 51 crores made for 115 megawatt CT5 project during FY20 as a project development work has initiated. Fourth, a credit of 34 crores recognized as a liquidated damage for 126 megawatt MSCDCL wind power project on account of settlement with the EPC contractor. And the last, rupees 11 crores, which is due to renewable projects acquired during Q4 of FY22 and contributed partially during the quarter. All put together, net non-recurring credit was about 118 crores in Q4 of FY22. Adjusted for about one-off, PBT for the quarter stood at 668 crores compared to 479 crores in the comparable quarter of last year, which is higher by about 189 crores, that is about 39%. I will now take you to the key highlights on the improvement in PBT of 189 crores for the current quarter. The improvement is in the operating profit is on account of mainly three factors. First, improvement in overall contribution of distribution business, which improved by 190 crores. Both licensed distribution and franchise distribution business reported improvement due to following reasons. There are 4 reasons for the improvement in both licensed as well as franchise and distribution business. First, improvement in P&L losses in licensed as well as franchise business has contributed additional 48 crores. Improvement in the volume as well as tariff in the distribution franchise area contributed about 19 crores. Higher return on equity as well as solar incentive and distribution license business has also contributed 33 crores. The last contribution for the new acquisitions, which is the Daman and Diu, has contributed additional 100 crores during the course of current quarter. The second reason is the improvement in distribution business was partially offset by lower contribution of 19 crores from gas-based power project. There are 3 reasons for the lower contribution in the gas-based power project. They are, first, gas prices which were elevated during the first 9 months of the year have gone down below $10, resulting in $10 per MMBTU, resulting into the lower profitability from trading of LNG during the quarter by 30 crores compared to the corresponding quarter of last year. Second, additionally, the contribution from long-term PPAs were lower by 23 crores in the quarter, resulting into the lower fuel saving, partially offset by lower O&M cost. Third, Depreciation charge was lower by 37 crores for the gas-based power plant on account of one-time impairment charges taken in Q4 of last year in region power project, as well as reduction in depreciation rate in Sujan. The third reason is renewable business of the company witnessed an increased contribution of 25 crores. So moving on to the after-tax numbers, consolidated profit after tax reported for the quarter is 488 crores as compared to loss of 484 crores in corresponding quarter last year, which is higher by 972 crores. Last year loss numbers includes debit on account of impairment charges in the quarter of 1,300 crores and related reversal in deferred tax liability of 372 crores. So net charges to the P&L was 928 crores. Adjusted for this impairment provision, PAT for the quarter stand at 488 crores, versus 444 crores of corresponding quarter last year. This higher by 44 crores, about 10%. Now moving into the operational performance of the company, distribution business and year-on-year improvement in the demand of by about 6%. Team losses have also witnessed a marked improvement for FY23 across all locations, mainly due to the continued focus on the loss reduction as well as recovery activities. This completes the overview of the quarterly financial as well as operating performance of the company. Now moving on to we'll give a brief update on the current projects which are under pipeline. First, commission of 115 megawatt SECI 5 project has been slightly delayed due to delay in construction of EHV lines due to factors beyond the control of the company, and same is expected to get commissioned by end of June 23. Necessary application for extension of SOD has been also made to the SECI. TPLD 300 megawatt solar project, as informed in the last call, is set to commission by end of this fiscal 24. PPA for 300 megawatt SECI 12 project, wind project, was executed in March 23. It is a contract for development of the project has been awarded to Suzlon. SCOD date of the project is expected in March 25. Moving on to the distribution segment, the company has made application for grant of parallel distribution license in various areas of Maharashtra, including Thane and Palghar, Pune and Nagpur. MSCDC is the incumbent licensee and will continue to remain as a licensee. Once the license is granted, it is expected to take 3 to 6 months time. Consumer will have, in this area, will have option to choose any one of the licensees for the power supply. That's all for this quarter. Now I will request coordinator to open the line for Q&A session. We wish everybody to stay safe and healthy. Thank you. Handing over to operator. Thank you.
Thank you. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on the touch-tone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question comes from the line of Mohit Kumar from ICICI Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, sir. And congratulations on a very remarkable performance on distribution side of business. So first question is, can you please give us a breakup of the revenues, especially for the Dadra and Nagar Haveli, the domain view, revenues, EBITDA and profit for the fiscal? Will help us here.
So for the full year, the revenue is about close to 6,000 crores and annuals are about close to 10,000 annuals.
And so on the EBITDA and PAT, sir?
So profit, as we say, is about 100 crores for the quarter. That is what we said in the contract.
For the year, sir? For the year, sir?
Sorry?
For the year, for the fiscal year?
140 PBT.
Understood, sir. My second question is on this, on the breakup which you usually give for the EBITDA into the 4 segments. For the fiscal year, if you can give us that.
The fiscal year, you can knock it down. The gas-based power project has made EBITDA of 1,500 crores against 900 crores last year. Renewable is made about 850 crores against last year of about 650 crores. License distribution is close to about 1,800 crores against 1,438 crores last year. franchisee about 1,030 crores against last year of 760. And overall EBITDA is 5,140 crores as well as 3,826 crores.
Understood, sir. So my third question is on given that the gas prices have declined materially, how do you think about tying over the gas now, especially for FY24 or
right. The gas prices have declined substantially as compared with what we have witnessed in the maybe the Q1 and Q2 quarters. It is now sub $10 available for MMBTU. So, and we expect that if you look at the storage capacity in Europe also, it has also started going up. So we expect the gas price will further come down somewhere around in the month of June, July kind of a thing. So then it will be right time at that point of time to tie up the further cargoes. So we are further waiting to gas price to further decline. And I think in a couple of months' time we will start tying up the cargoes. That is what our expectation is.
And how much is long-term tie as of now, sir, for FY24?
We have gas available from IOC and RIA, Reliance KG-D6. So we can mount about 25% the requirement. And we have next 3 years, so we have 3 cargoes tied for each of the years, which amount to about 20%. So about 45 to 50% tied is already there.
Understood, sir. Thank you. All the best, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Rahul Modi from Nippon Asset Management. Please go ahead.
Good morning, sir. Thank you very much for taking this question, and congratulations for a good set of numbers. So I just wanted your medium-term view on how we are progressing in the various projects which are there under construction in renewables, and in terms of strategy going forward over the next probably 3 to 4 years in terms of renewables, whether we are looking at inorganic expansion or participating in bids, CNI, all of that. Thank you.
Yeah, see, our strategy is very clear. We want to focus more on the distribution as a renewable segment and as well as transmission also. So focusing on, we are willing in the renewable side. Yes, we have some 700 megawatt of projects in the pipeline. We are also actively looking at the inorganic acquisition as well as greenfield projects also. So plan is to, as we explained earlier also, the plan is to reach to about 5 gigawatt of capacity in the next 3 to 5 years time. So we'll continue to focus on the renewable segment. At the same time, we also will focus on the distribution also, because it's the core of our business, important business for us. And as we explained earlier also in the last call, we have participated in Maharashtra for a couple of locations, which will take some time because we have to wait about, there is some process involved with the regulator. So that will require about 3 to 6 months time. So we will focus more on the distribution as well as renewable assets also.
So one question I had.
Yeah.
So one question also I had on, apparently we've been allotted some land for green hydrogen in Gujarat. Some thoughts on that, please?
Yeah, it's a land we have allocated. A very large piece of land is allocated. So we plan to set up a renewable project there also. So it will, and we did various SICI projects and state discom project for the renewable segment.
So this will not be for green hydrogen per se, but for RE projects itself.
Yeah, RE as well as green hydrogen both.
Okay. So but RE you will set up. Will it be in tandem or you will first go in for? So this is just land. You will only start putting up capacities once you get PPAs or you win bids or license so forth.
Absolutely.
And how much, sir? How much land have we got in terms of megawattage? What can we put up there?
About 6,000 hectares we got in Gujarat. So it's a very large piece of land we got. So
right.
We'll develop the project as and when we tie up the PPAs.
So it's fair to assume that is primarily for solar, and it will be what, 2,000 megawatts? 3,000 megawatts?
Yeah, about 3,000 megawatts.
Okay. And that will be solar?
Solar and wind both. It's a hybrid kind of.
Wind both together. Okay. Sure, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Mohit Kumar from ICICI Securities. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. My question was, sir, what is the consideration for the land which you have got from Gujarat?
6,000 hectares.
No, sir. Consideration for the land, how much you need to pay per annum basis, or it was an upfront number?
I don't have the numbers right now. We can give offline.
Understood, sir. Thank you, sir. That was the question.
Thank you. A reminder to all the participants that you may press star and 1 to ask a question. Next question comes from the line of Amit Binde from Morgan Stanley. Please go ahead.
Hello, sir. Good morning. I just wanted to understand what's happening on the gas EBITDA. Last year, the gas EBITDA was around 462 crores for the quarter. Right now, as you said, it's 15,000 for the year. Removing the RLNG gains, it hardly comes out to be 213 crores for the quarter. So what exactly is the difference between last year 462 and 213 this year on the gas-based plants? Or thermal plants, totally, gas plus coal. So have you earned lower incentives? What has changed YOY?
So, as we give the last year, full year gas EBITDA was of 1,500 crores compared to 900 crores this year. In the Q4, if you look at the number, we made EBITDA about 200 crores in gas-based power project compared to 282 crores last year. Yes, gas EBITDA is lower for the current quarter,
So, what are the reasons for this change? Can you just highlight it?
PLF is low. Cost of PLF is low, and profit in the gas is also less compared with the comparable quarter of last year.
But then, I guess you mentioned that there's minimal gain on RLNG this time, I guess, because that's last time it was 50 crores, and this time, as you mentioned, that there's a difference of 30. So we just have a
quarter is lower by 30 crores. This quarter is lower by 30 crores.
Last year Q4, I think it was 50 crores, 30 crores lower. So it is only 20 crores this time. So I don't. So that explains.
Last quarter it was 120 crores. This quarter is about 90 crores.
Okay, still 282 and 200 difference, 82 crores. Of that, 30 is explained. Remaining 52?
Remaining 52 will be the lower fuel gain, about 25 crores because of lower generation.
Okay. Right. Got it. Right. Yeah, that was my question. Thank you.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Bharani Vijay Kumar from Spark Capital. Please go ahead.
Good morning, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, you can speak a little louder.
Okay, sir. So just want to know the EBITDA contribution from RLNG sale for the full year, FY23.
It was about close to 700 crores for the full year.
700. Okay. And just to reconfirm the yearly EBITDA number, renewables you said 850 crores this year versus 650 crores last year, right?
Sorry?
EBITDA from renewables 850 crores this year versus 650 crores last year, correct, sir?
850 crores versus 660 crores last year, yes.
And license distribution 1,800 versus 1,238 last year, is that right?
1,800 versus 1,400 crores, 1,438 crores last year.
Okay, sir. And coming to this gas power that we are supplying during this summer peak, from say, so which are the plants from which we are supplying? And of course, the tariff is in the public domain, but how much would be the contribution on a per unit basis?
The contribution, see, as we are supplying to our DGEN power project as well as fusion power project.
Okay.
And we'll come back on the contribution thing then later on offline. We don't have the numbers right now.
No problem. But this will be happening only for the 3-month period, right? Or will it be
about up to June 15, I would say.
Okay. Any likelihood that it will be extended?
It all depends on the summer, how the summer is going on. So how is the demand working out going forward? It all depends on the demand as well as demand supply situation.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. All the best.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Nikhil from Alliance Bernstein. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you for the opportunity. My first question is on the distribution opportunities being explored in Maharashtra. Would it be possible for you to share some more color on that? Is the infra owned by the incumbent and the PPAs, are they transferred, are they not transferred? How does it work?
Maharashtra distribution, you are saying?
Yeah, the opportunity in Maharashtra, you said, in distribution. Yeah.
Yeah, it's too early to talk about. We have applied for the couple of areas. So regulator is evaluating our applications. It requires some process at the regulator end. So it requires about 3 to 6 months time. Once we have some visibility on this application, so we'll update. Once it's the process, basically regulator is undertaking the process. So it requires about 3 to 6 months time.
So just to add what Saurabh told, it will be a parallel license. So we are supposed to build up our own network and source our own power. So there will not be any sharing of PPA or usage of any network. Even if we will have to use, it will have to be as per the billing charges what we will have to pay. Effectively, it's a parallel license, a second license.
Oh, that's helpful. Thank you. A related question on the same front, on a competitive distribution model, government has been working for a long time. Any further progress you've seen from a government perspective on it? I mean, they've been trying to update the act, but any progress that you've heard on beyond?
I think government is, it would be put up in the coming session of Parliament. Nothing more than that in terms of any color on that.
Understood. And one last question on the renewable opportunities. There was this press news, I think early this year, on Torrent exploring acquiring assets from Renew Power. Are those discussions still ongoing? Possible to share any views on those?
So still under evaluation, so there is no concrete, there is no firm answer on this, but it's still under evaluation right now.
Correct. Thank you so much. That's all.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Harsh Dole from IIFL. Please go ahead.
Thanks, Saurabh bhai, Rishi bhai. I had actually quite a few questions. First is with regards to our Ahmedabad and Surat circle. I believe there has not been any tariff increase. In that case, how do we intend to earn the incremental ROE towards the capex that we have done or planning to do? That's point number one. Point number two was I heard that we have made almost 140 crores of PBT in the DNH circle. That's almost 14% ROE on a full year basis. Any one-offs in that particular circle? Third was we heard in news that you're likely to bid for the coal-based plant of SKS in terms of acquiring it at NCLT. Now, any U-turn in terms of our strategy of not putting up additional capital for generation?
See, the first question about the distribution, Ahmedabad and Surat distribution. So yes, tariff hike is not given, but always regulator pass on the tariff, power purchase cost, fuel cost, and power purchase cost increased by FPPA. So on a regular basis, we are getting the increase in terms of FPPA. So that is available to us on a regular basis, on a quarterly basis, I would say. Second question is on Daman and Diu. We said we made 140 crores PBT. There are no one-off. It's fully from the distribution activities only, and mainly coming out of the saving in O&M as well as the T&D losses, reduction in T&D losses, and as well as the return on equity also. So, and the third question is the SKS. On SKS, yes, we have bidded for the SKS. We have participated in the bidding. So there are 4 players currently in the race. So one is our Torrent Power, Industry Power, Vantage Point, and the Sharda Energy. 4 bidders are there. Bids are, as per our understanding, the bids are very close right now. So, and as per our information, the lenders are, there are 2 lenders. BOB is the lead lender and SBI is the second lender. And currently the resolution plan, we have everybody, all bidders are provided the signed resolution plan. And currently it is under voting by the lenders. That is what the status is.
So just to add what Saurabh said on the first question, I think your question was more on the capital cost. So effectively what happens is, though tariff has not been increased, regulator has allowed certain capitalization of expenses or the capital which we have put in. It effectively happens that your volume also increases on a year-on-year basis. So as per what we have, the capex which you have done and what they have allowed, there is no requirement of increasing the fixed charge because of capitalization, because the units are also increasing. So effectively we are getting the pass-through or the fixed cost on the capex which we have done, but there is no reason for the regulator to increase the tariff because of that.
Clear, very clear. Thank you. I'm quite pleased to see, in the very first year of taking over DNH, we have managed to, swing it around and get almost 14% ROE. Now, how sustainable is this? And what kind of, growth in, this number should we model going forward? Because when we started off, it was perceived that the base is significantly low, and therefore the concerns emerged that, we have overpaid for the asset. So how have you been able to turn this around and swing this kind of a profitability? Thank you.
So we have worked around on the central distribution network. Distribution loss in the first year itself is 1.59%, which is significantly lower than the normative one. And our view is that it's a sustainable. This kind of a number is sustainable going forward also because of the distribution, our work on the distribution reduction in distribution losses. And the O&M expense is also well under control.
Just to add, Harsh, is that basically it's an industrial area. So effectively, if I benchmark it with our industrial area, which is Dahej SEZ, we are working at 0.5% T&D losses. So effectively, there is still headroom available for us to reduce the T&D losses. But on the other side, regulator may also keep on changing the normative norm. So both put together, we feel that these are sustainable numbers, and going forward, there will also be some element of capex which will be putting in, which will give us incremental ROE on that capex. So as far as current numbers are concerned, we feel that they are sustainable over a period of time.
Appreciate. Thank you, and wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Nikhil Abhyankar from ICICI Securities. Please go ahead.
Good morning, sir. So I've got 2 questions. You just heard about the SKS facility that we are trying to acquire. So does this facility have any power types? And if not, then how do you intend to use this power plant?
So it has a PPA about 200 megawatts. So balance power we can market is very good. Where we can use for our own distribution and we can sell in the merchant market also.
Okay, so we don't intend to tie it up with PPAs.
No, we are going to do it. Once we win the bid, yes, we are going to tie it along in the long-term basis.
Okay. And so can you give us the breakup of capital expense for FY24 and also a guidance for FY24?
CapEx for full year distribution CapEx was about close to 1,800 crores, and franchise distribution is about 250 crores. So distribution put together is about all CapEx put together is about 2,000, about close to 2,000 crores. Same guidance we maintain for the next years also. 2,000 crores CapEx we are maintaining. Out 1,700 crores is license distribution and about 250 to 300 crores franchise distribution area.
Okay. And so for government license area, do we have any long-term tie-ups with any power plant, and do we procure any short-term power as well?
Daman and Diu area?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have some tie with the NTPC, so some for long-term tie, and balance power they are procuring from the open on a bilateral basis.
On bilateral basis.
Bilateral as well as from exchange also.
So it also
quantify the long-term tie-up?
So I'll tell you. So it also has some short-term tie-ups, which effectively come from central utilities, let's say Nuclear Power Corporation and those other central utilities, wherein they sell on a short-term basis to DDBNS. So this will be the whole mix of power purchase arrangement in DDBNS.
So can you just give us the breakup of long-term and short-term? How much we procure?
Sure. We don't have numbers as of now. We'll give it
just in percentage ballpark figure. No problem.
We'll give to you offline.
Okay. No problem. Thank you. That's all from me.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Jiten Rushi from Axis Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, sir. Thank you for taking my question. So my first question would be on the EBITDA. Can you please give us the breakup of EBITDA for the fourth quarter? Just want to reconcile it.
So fourth quarter EBITDA gas distribution was for current quarter is 207 crores versus 282 crores. Renewable is about 200 crores versus 150 crores last year. License distribution is about 535 versus 421 last year. Franchise is about 230 crores, 235 crores versus 167 crores last year. And overall EBITDA is about 1,200 crores versus 1,088 crores last year.
Sir, what would be from the new distribution franchise license of Dadra Nagar EBITDA for Q4?
EBITDA for Q4.
So you said PBT is 140 crores for the full year, right?
Yeah, but we have a combined number, so I'm just looking at the breakup. We'll give it to you offline. We don't have the currently breakup of the EBITDA. We have a constant number of license business.
So basically, sir, in the gas business, you said 90 crore is from the trading gains this year, this quarter.
30 crores. Lower trading gain was lower by 30 crores.
So how much is the actual trading gain in Q4?
90 crores.
90 crores. Yeah, that is
90 crores, and last year it was 120 crores.
Last year, same period. And so in Q3, it was like almost 397 crores, right, sir?
Sorry, Ramesh?
Last quarter, Q3, it was 397 crores, and this quarter is 90 crores. And full year, you said 780 crores, right? 700 crores.
So coming to the EBITDA number of Q4 of Daman and Diu, it is about 107 crores from Daman and Diu, Q4 number. And full year is about 173 crores.
173. So these are sustainable numbers, right?
Okay. Yes.
Sir, the interest cost has also gone down this quarter. For any reason, because the debt level has not changed?
It has gone up, in fact. It has gone up.
So in Q4 it is 189 crores, while in Q3 it was 220 crores. I'm asking about sequential decrease in interest cost.
So debt level has gone up by almost 1,700 crores.
Sequential number.
No, this is a sequential number, not the yearly number. It's QQ I'm asking.
Yeah, we'll come back to you on that.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Aniket Mittal from SBI Mutual Funds. Please go ahead.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity. A few questions. So firstly, on the distribution franchise, I think for Bhiwandi and Agra, we've seen a very sharp reduction this year. T&D losses over there are sub 10% levels. So going forward, how do you look at these numbers in terms of the loss reductions from year on, and where do you think this can settle down?
Oh, see, every year you can see the numbers are coming down. So same trend, not in the same direction, the same proportion, I would say, but it will continue. So it is coming to the sub 10 numbers, and if you look at the Bhiwandi and Ahmedabad and Surat kind of area, it's sub 5. So we expect that the loss reduction will be there going forward also. Maybe not in the same proportion what we have achieved so far, but 0.5% to 0.75% reduction we can assume going forward for a couple of years.
Yes. And similarly for SNK, because over the past 2 years we've seen a very sharp reduction from 45 now coming to 33. How would that trajectory look like?
That will going to happen. Every year we expect that the 4 to 5% reduction in SNK TD losses also. Same trend will continue for going forward also for SNK.
Yes. Just one last question. For the 715 megawatts of renewables that we have under construction, what is the total capex for that, and how much of that have we already incurred?
So I think the total capex would be around 5,000 crores for 715 megawatts, out of which 115 megawatts we are expected to commission by June end of this year, for which a majority of the capex has already been spent. As far as another 600 megawatts is concerned, the SCODs are 2024 and 2025. So significant work is yet to be done. So I'll say out of 5,000 crores, around 800 crores to 1,000 crores would have been spent as of now, and majority spend will happen in next 2 years.
Okay, that's helpful. Those are my questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Shubhadeep Mitra from Nuvama. Please go ahead.
Good morning, and thank you for the opportunity. My questions are, more on, focusing on how do you see the future growth panning out in terms of new areas. And apologize if you've already answered these questions. I joined a little bit late. So firstly, in terms of the renewable side, I mean, with more bidding expected to happen over the current year and beyond, is there a revised target in terms of, how much you plan to win? Or are there any, targets in terms of new acquisitions, etc.?
I would say there is no revised target to win, but our goal is to reach about 5 gigawatt in next 3 to 5 years' time. And we explore various opportunities in infill area as well as inorganically also. So we don't have target for the year, but yes, the medium-term target is about to reach 5 gigawatt in next 3 to 5 years' time.
So it will also have to be taken into consideration that these targets, I mean, they are the wish list. It will depend on whether we are able to get different returns from these projects.
Understood. Secondly, in terms of the CNI or the corporate PPA market, which has been opening up over the last 12 to 18 months, any plans on that side?
So we are working on it. So we are actively, in fact, working on it. So currently we have some, we executed about 20 megawatt PPAs also. And going forward, this is the active area. This is the area where we will actively work on it.
Okay. With regard to the Legion plant and the open capacity over there, are there any thoughts on, at what gas prices do you actually see possibility of having longer-term PPAs signed?
Longer-term PPA looks difficult because generally the current trend is to have a short-term PPA. So we about $6-7 kind of a gas available. I think it's power will be more affordable to sell in the short-term market.
And Subhadeep, again, if you want to have a long-term PPA, it would be a fixed cost or a fixed tariff PPA, which would be difficult for us to enter into because I will not be able to hedge my gas prices in terms of price. So doing a long-term PPA would be slightly riskier for us if it is a fixed tariff PPA for a gas-based power plant.
Understood. Lastly, in terms of the distribution business, do you see any near-term opportunities there, or is it that we need, Electricity Act amendments to first come in before this area opens up?
We have, as you know, we have applied for the parallel license in Maharashtra, so that opportunity is always available. So we don't have to wait for the Electricity Act to be amended. So opportunity is always available for the second licensing. So we are exploring those opportunities in Maharashtra also as well as in Gujarat also.
So for the Maharashtra parallel license, is there any movement on that front or an expectation that this can get awarded anytime soon?
So it's a regulatory process, requires some time for the regulator also to consider the application. We expect next 3 to 6 months we have some visibility on this front.
Understood. That's it from my side. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Sumit Kishore from Axis Capital. Please go ahead. Mr. Sumit, please go ahead with the question.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. Good morning. Thanks for the opportunity. My first question is, what is the total regulatory asset at the end of FY23 in your distribution license business, and how has the figure moved from FY22?
So regulatory asset as of March 23 will be close to about 1,900 crores, which is accounted for, I would say. And there are some disputes going on with the regulators, on particularly on the carrying cost, which is about close to about 650 crores.
The 650 crores is not part of 1,900 crores?
No, it is not part of 1,900 crores.
Okay, 1,900 crores is part of your balance sheet. What was its number last year?
Yes.
What was its number in FY23?
Number was about 1,300 crores.
Okay. The increase has been driven mainly by Ahmedabad?
Ahmedabad as well as Surat.
Okay. Based on your assessment of how regulatory, orders may pan out, do you see this figure further increasing in FY24?
I think it should not increase. If you look at the prices right now, be it of gas or for merchant markets, we feel that this figure should not increase, because essentially this increase is mainly because of last year there was merchant prices were very high, because of which the numbers have been elevated. Going forward, if prices remain at these levels, we expect that there should be some reduction in the regulatory asset. Just to remind you that this again will carry the carrying cost. So effectively there is no impact on the P&L per se. It's just about the cash flow mismatch which happens here.
Okay, just to understand this better, how much carrying cost are you recognizing right now as a percentage of the regulatory asset?
As per the norms, it is SBI 1-year MCLR.
SBI 1-year MCLR. And in the increase in regulatory asset, how much was driven because of carrying costs? So 1,300 crore going to 1,900, how much was because of carrying costs?
On a ballpark number, it will be around 100 to 150 crores, but I'll get back to you with the exact numbers.
Sure. My second question is on Dadra and Nagar Haveli, the distribution business there. The 140 crore PBT, how much of the PBT is coming from O&M cost savings and other incentives because of T&D loss reduction, and how much is on account of ROE?
So, we will not be able to give you the exact numbers. I'll try to give you the
ballpark is.
Yeah. So, as far as regulatory equity is concerned, it is around 150 crores as of now, on which 15 or 15.5% is available. As far as T&D is concerned, normative is around 4.5%, against which we have recorded 1.6%. So that savings are available. And O&M, there will not be a major, we'll have to give it to you offline. We don't have that number as of now.
So this is, we can make our assumptions. Thank you.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Anuj Upadhyay from Investec. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Thanks for the opportunity. Just two questions, sir. One is a confirmation on the console capex for FY24. You mentioned on a distribution front it would be close to 3,000 crores, plus we have another 4,000 odd crores to be spent on renewables. So would it be fair to assume near about 4,000 crores of console capex for both FY24 and FY25?
4,000 crore renewable capex will happen over a period of 2 years' time.
Right. So 2,000 on distribution and 2,000 on renewables. So would it be fair to assume?
So I'll say 2,000 crores of distribution capex. FY24, it would be 2,000 crores. Going forward, then it will slightly taper off for FY25 and going forward.
Okay. Okay. And secondly, any plan to venture into new business segments, say like battery storage or pump hydro storage? There was news hovering earlier that we are also eyeing to venture into the PSP segment. So any confirmation or anything which you want to elaborate on this?
We are working on it, but it's a very initial stage to talk about all these new areas.
So as far as pump hydro and battery storage are concerned, we are working on that, but it would be too premature to comment anything on that. As far as new segments being adding up, I think we touched upon C&I as a new segment, which we are now started working on, and wherein we have tied up 20 megawatts and will improve on it going forward.
Okay. Any internal targets on what scale you want to reach up to?
So generally, we don't have targets or don't give targets.
But we have a considered target about reaching to about 5 gigawatts in next 3 to 5 years' time. So
no, this is for CNI, sir. For CNI,
no, so no separate target for CNI.
Target for CNI.
Okay. Okay. That's it, sir. Thanks, sir.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Devam Modi from Ardeko. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir, for the opportunity. Just wanted to check that are we exploring any opportunity to sell renewable power under group captive arrangements? And there are several small companies we think have been set up, subsidiaries have been set up under Torrent Power. So is there any angle of group captive sale with renewable power, and what is the purpose of setting up those companies?
So as we discussed, C&I projects are basically for group captive projects. And the subsidiaries which have been set up are mainly for C&I projects or you can say group captive projects.
So what is the kind of volume we are targeting over there?
No, as I said, we don't give any targets per se. Currently we have 20 megawatts and we hope to have a larger pool of C&I projects, but we will not be able to give any targets per se.
Sure. And what is generally there has been a thought process which has been running in the last few years that as renewable power increases in the grid, there will be a need to balance it with gas-based power, but that's not happened so much till now, at least as per our awareness. So if you can just highlight if that angle can come in at some point of time, and what is the possibility of bundling gas-based power with renewable and providing, let's say, more holistic quality power?
I think that's a long-term question which needs to be answered. I think there are two approaches here. One is bundling gas-based power plant with renewable and providing an RTC power, or having a battery storage and giving a RTC power. So it is too premature right now to say which technology or which approach would go going forward. But India has 24 gigawatts of gas-based power plants which can be effectively utilized for managing the intermittency of the grid. Now, how it will be utilized right now, there is no clarity on that.
Okay, sure. And finally, just what is the further, I understand we have announced some acquisitions. These are in solar and wind. These are not part of the current capacities which are being commissioned or which are already set up. So what is that quantum which is going to come in, and what is the payout that will happen towards the same?
So new acquisition, whatever we announced was the last year. So any new, no, we have not
new acquisition.
We have not announced any new acquisition as far as renewable is concerned.
So those acquisitions which you announced, they are already part of the current phase?
Yeah, absolutely. It was 3 acquisitions we did in the last year, and one acquisition we did in the Q1 of the current year. So these are all acquisitions factor in the current numbers.
Okay, sure. That's it from my side.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Bhavin Vitlani from SBI Mutual Funds. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity and congratulations for good numbers. So a couple of questions, pardon me if this has been repeated. What is the capex that we are now expecting in the newly acquired distribution license in DNH?
So DNH, we plan to incur about at least 500 crores capex in next couple of years, up 3 to 5 years, I would say. So that is what the plan is.
So 500 crores per annum or 500
no. Cumulative capex.
See, it's not that large an area. So capex numbers would not be that large in this area. Also, starting there would be higher numbers of capex, and then it will go down. As Saurabh said, 500 crores would be spent over a period of 3 to 5 years on a cumulative basis. But for the near term, it would be higher and it will gradually go down.
Okay. And what is the kind of capex that we should be expecting in Ahmedabad and Surat after 25 onwards?
25 onwards, I think we should consider about 750 to 1,000 crores capex in Ahmedabad and Surat.
But just the last question, when you look at the PLFs of wind, and especially they have been trending down. So I'm referring to slide 22, the bottom left chart. From 30% in 19, they've come down to 24. If you could give some more color on this, and if I am correct, the underlying assumption is a 35% PLF for the newly constructed assets.
No, I think last couple of years, wind has shown a reduction in the PLF because of the wind resource not being so robust. But I think we are now seeing it is improving, and we are hopeful that it should improve in next couple of years.
So at what level you make a 12% IRR in the newly constructed assets? So what is the assumption of PLF?
Okay, so I think it will depend on site to site. When you say newly constructed asset, we are working on 115 megawatts, which is expected to get commissioned in June of this year. So next month, basically. That is, the PLF assumptions would be around 35 to 40%.
Okay, sure. Yeah, thank you so much for taking my questions.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Riya Mehta from Aequitas Investment.
Hello.
Yes.
Thank you for giving me an opportunity. My first question is in regards with the falling gas prices. How do we stand to benefit from this, and from when?
Falling gas price will help us to buy more gas for our power. Gas is power, which is supplying gas to our own distribution area. So we don't have resort to the outside power purchase, and distribution will help our distribution area to lower the overall basket of power purchase, and which will help to recover the even regulatory efforts also.
So we would see this impact coming from next quarter, and by how much quantum would this impact?
So, I think as far as profitability is concerned, the incremental profitability comes from merchant power from the gas-based power plants. Now, typically in India, H1 has the highest volumes or demand for the power is concerned. This year, we may not see a major improvement in the merchant selling because of high gas prices from our gas-based power plants. Going forward, we expect that gas prices will soften further, wherein we would want to tie up on a long-term basis or at least for a medium-term basis for our own distribution requirements, which will help us to reduce our overall cost of supplying power to Ahmedabad, Surat, and our own licensed distribution areas. And that will help us to reduce our regulatory assets. So as far as profitability is concerned, it does not impact our profitability because variable cost is a pass-through for us. But it will help us to lower the cost of power, which will in turn help us to recover the regulatory assets which have been built up last year.
Right. So as far as the merchant power is concerned, this year we won't get the benefit in H1, but next year maybe because of lower gas prices and the potential agreements which we would get into, we would help it in maybe FY25 H1.
I think it is too early to comment because all these long-term prices are variable price contracts. They are not fixed price contracts. So again, next year we'll have to see what is the situation as far as price of gas is concerned, what is the merchant prices which are available. So it's a very opportunistic play, and you will not be able to give a guidance on it going forward.
Why would we not be able to procure lower gas prices for the current H1?
Because prices are higher.
Okay.
So effectively, it takes 1 month for you to procure gas. Even if you order it now, it will take 15 days to 30 days, depending on where the cargo is, to get that power, to get that LNG. And then you don't know what would be the merchant prices 1 month down the line.
Okay. Got it. Thank you so much for your elaborate answer.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of question and answer session. I would now like to hand the conference over to the management for closing comments.
Thank you very much for joining Torrent Power's earnings call. So we wish everybody to stay safe and healthy. Thank you so much. We meet once again in the next quarter. Thank you so much.
Thank you. On behalf of Torrent Power Limited, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us. You may now